is it about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang?
Well, he does have some issues with disciplinary behaviour. He likes to party, sometimes at the wrong place at the wrong time. Punctuality has been an issue, and of course in Germany people are very, very worried about that when you're late for training. But I think the bigger problem for him was that he didn't really fit the bill this summer. You know, United under Mourinho and Conte with Chelsea, they wanted proper number 9s. He doesn't really fit the bill. I think Arsenal would have been a better fit for him, like Lacazette, but he was very, very expensive, cost double. Maybe 3 times as much. And then you're looking at a very small market for him. China is obviously still interested in him. I think we still might see him move. In Spain, there's only 2 clubs. None of them really wanted him. And, of course, Milan, his former club, he flirted with them, but they were nowhere near meeting Dortmund's €70 million valuation. So I feel for him a little bit. I think he's been underrated a little bit. But there's a reason for it, and one is football, and also one is the perception, perhaps, that he could be a bit more professional.
Give us your impressions, just your general impressions of the 19-year-old.
Well, this is maybe an annual thing for me, because I had a chance to speak to him in Marbella last year, and you could see the difference. You could see that he is 19, which is still very young, but a little bit older than 18, a little bit wiser, perhaps a little more guarded as well, has been brushed with that collective failure by the US, and you could see that it's something that's still at the back of his mind, still gnawing away at him and occupying him. At the same time, he seems very confident in his own ability and realizing that he's just growing, learning all the time, benefiting from a club that gives you regular game time at a very high level. And I don't think he's going to move away from there anytime soon.
Well, I was going to come to that, Raf, because there seems to be a bit of a public tug-of-war developing between Liverpool and Manchester United, both of them expressing some sort of interest in Pulisic. What do you think the likelihood is that this will prove to be his final year at Dortmund?
I don't think we're at that stage yet. Don't forget, Liverpool tried very hard in the summer of 16. And I think at that point, when he wasn't quite a regular yet, and there was a whole bunch of new players coming in, like Dembele, for example, he was thinking about it. I think at the moment, he is very smart. I think his dad, who takes an advisory role, is very smart. They know that the move away to another club, maybe to the Premier League, will come at one stage. But I don't think there's any need to force the issue. But what you're hearing from Man United today, reacting to a move from Liverpool that hasn't even materialized yet, we're just talking hypothetically, is that as soon as there is some kind of inclination that Dortmund would be prepared to do a deal, and of course he'd be prepared to move, there will be a real war. Because this guy, especially for clubs who are owned by Americans, promises so much on all levels, on the pitch, off the pitch, that it'll be remiss for those clubs not to go for him. So as soon as Dortmund and him think, you know, maybe the time is right, you'll see that war, but I don't think it's next summer just yet.
If you guys were advising him, should he stay or should he go? End of this year at Dortmund. Eventually he's going to, in all likelihood, but should he do it now?
No. The answer is no. And we just got done talking about a kid. He is 19 years old. And yes, while his game makes you wonder what he could be and what he will be and what the potential is, and really his personality also makes you wonder what his potential will be, because those things go together. I do think that for him it's most important to get game time. And that game time is going to come at Dortmund. And it has come at Dortmund. And as he continues to grow and he continues to mature on the field, off the field, then you can talk about a bigger move. Right now, I think he's doing it right. He's doing it well. And it shows in the way that he's playing.
But if Liverpool and Manchester United come calling?
100% agree with Alejandro. He needs to stay where he is. And we keep using this word maturity for this kid, but that's what you need. You need to have a certain level of maturity on and off the field, because when he goes, he's going to go to one of the giants in world football, and you need to be at a certain level both on and off the field to be able to go there and handle it, number one, and then be able to produce on the field. I don't think he's ready for that, and I agree with Ali, I agree with Raf. It won't be this summer, and he should stay where he is right now.
It's tough to refuse at Liverpool and at Manchester United, though, isn't it?
It most certainly is, but it seems as though he's a really level-headed lad, and I think he's got some good people around him. I think they will advise him and say, look, maybe it is a good idea if you just hang around for a little bit longer. Because, look, there's no doubt that whether he's American, it doesn't matter what he is. What clubs are interested in is what's inside that shirt. And it looks as though there's a lot of talent and a very good head on young shoulders. I think Stevie makes a great point, though. If you go to Manchester United, if you go to Liverpool, for argument's sake, the eyes of the world are on you every single day, not just on game day, every single day. What are you doing at training? What have you been doing? What are you doing socially? Because it's 24/7 with teams like that. So I think it'd be advised just to stay a bit longer.
He's not had a down spell either.
No.
He's only just become a regular in the Dortmund side.
Yeah.
So everything he's done so far is going this way.
Yeah.
You need to see how he handles it when he drops. Because that's what happens with young players eventually.
And if he's the real deal, and we'll think that he is the real deal, those clubs will be there. Will be there in the future. They're not going to go away. They're not going to go away. And neither is him if he continues to grow.
Liverpool very keen to get Naby Keita in ahead of the agreed arrival time in the summer. They want him in January. How realistic is this to happening? And there's going to be some extra money involved for Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, a few days ago, I would have said to you, very, very hard to get Leipzig to do this. What's in it for them? They're chasing the Champions League. They've already sold the player. How much more money can they really charge for, and how much money will really turn their head? They don't really need the money. But I think now, with him coming back into training and, shall we say, being a little bit lackluster, making a point of not really joining in early on when the cameras were still there, I think they're beginning to think about it, and certainly their stance is not nearly as hard as it was in the summer, where they said absolutely no chance we'll let him go in August. I think now there's an indication that they would be listening, would be able to listen and weigh up an offer. And I think that's all the encouragement Liverpool needed, and they will put money on the table. They have a lot of money, as we know, and for them, Keita make a huge difference. The Keita that's not quite in the mood and hasn't really been trying that hard will probably not make that much of a difference for Leipzig. So I would say the stance has shifted over the last few days. I see a possibility of it happening.
And what would the magic number be, Raf, to make this happen? What's the number that makes Leipzig sell now?
It's very hard to say. I mean, we've had some suggestions that 20 million euros on top of the 60 to 70 million euros that they would already make in the summer might change their planning. And of course, you put the two figures together, and we're talking 90 million euros. I mean, that is an insane amount of money for a player that cost less than 10 million euros 1.5 years ago. I think that it's less to do with the money and the figure as such as Leipzig having to make that value judgment really on whether they want to keep him for the next 4-5 months or so, whether it's worth that with all the distraction, with perhaps him having a bit of negative energy in the dressing room, all the things I think that Liverpool thought about very hard and made a decision to sell now. Leipzig will go through the same thing, and the money, of course, will make it easier for them. But I think the decision is more about Keita's state of mind and just how much they get out of him, with him very clearly wanting to be in Liverpool already.
Stevie, I'm guessing you would love to see him at Liverpool come the end of January. But at what cost? Is it worth it if it costs another 20 million and upping the total transfer? I
think it's worth it because it would, in my opinion, it would almost guarantee them getting in the top 4. So that financial gain from that alone would cover your layout. I mean, if you're prepared to lay out that money to make sure, then it's worth it. And I think that's what would happen.
Raf, do you share that opinion? Would he be the player to get Liverpool over the line into the top 4?
I think that's maybe asking a little bit too much of him to say he's going to be the player. But certainly I think Liverpool could do with him right now. If there isn't a possibility at all to make it happen, you would say it's negligent not to pursue it as hard as they can, because that having paid 75 or 65, it depends where Leipzig finish, having committed to that, you could say, you know what, we might as well give him another 20. We can use him more now than wait in the summer. I don't think really Liverpool at that point care about the extra 20 so much. I don't think Leipzig do either, but certainly he seems to be much more motivated to play for Liverpool for the second half of the season than for Leipzig, and I think that might make the difference.
Welcome into Extra Time. First time I've had the pleasure of doing this for a few weeks. I remember the last time I did this, I got dog's abuse for admitting I was off to Hawaii. For,
big time.
and you were still big time.
Hey, it's the makeup that doesn't allow to see the amount of tan that you got going on.
By the way,
And you were Hawaiian dancing as
By
well
the way,
last time I was in this chair.
I was sat in the house
You were
with
doing all
14
this?
inches of snow against my front door, and you were in Hawaii. And you think I'm going to have a smile on my face? Having a laugh.
It left
It
left a mental scar, clearly. Oh, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, yeah. Didn't rain once.
How was your return?
Return not so good.
What happened in your return?
Involving snow drifts and 5-hour drives from Albany to Connecticut, which should have taken an hour and a half, and cancelled flight. Yeah, no.
I feel really bad for you.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Well, now that I am back, some questions for you. If Man City have a fully fit squad, does Alexis Sanchez start? Who wants to dive in there first?
I wouldn't start him.
No?
Not when I have the team playing the way that the team is playing right now. Maybe in the future, if something happens, what have you, he gets an opportunity. But the way I look at this team, the way that they're playing, I don't change it.
No? You don't start him? Do you start him, Steve?
No.
If you're Pep?
No, I think you do what he's been doing, and that's giving Aguero a rest, and Sanchez comes in. I certainly wouldn't be moving Sané or Sterling. I mean, Sterling's scoring far too many goals to not play him. Sané's pretty much the same on the other side. So no, I don't start him.
There's no reason to change the side that's flowing the way that City are flowing. I think it's a great situation for Sanchez. If he gets this move to City, he's going to be cruising.
Do you know what though? When you think of the stuff that's coming out of the Arsenal dressing room, that he's a problem in there, I mean, is that just going to transfer to City? Because right now, everything at City is everybody's got a smile on their face. Everybody loves each other. They're all cuddling every 2 minutes when they score.
Yeah.
I mean, could he?
Yeah.
You don't know.
I don't know. You don't know about. I don't.
Raf Honigstein is with us. Raf, let's bring you in on this. Of course, he has history with Pep as well, and has been on the bench in his past with Barcelona. Is it conceivable?
Yeah, I mean, it was a disappointment at Barcelona, but Guardiola likes to have the option, and I think Guardiola's thinking about this season. Aguero not fully fit, needs a lot of rest. Gabriel might not come back for a couple of months, so I think he's thinking, I've got a chance here to do something historic. 4 titles, 4 trophies. If it costs me another £30 million to do that, no one is going to care in Abu Dhabi. No one's going to remember that. I'm just going to maximise this opportunity. I think that's why they're pushing now.
On we go. We just saw Barcelona rip Celta Vigo to shreds, didn't we? And that probably prompted this question: Is the Messi-Alba combo better than any fast food combo? All the cutting questions right here and the important issues to address. Is it better than
Five Guys fries?
You're familiar.
Takes a lot of bit.
You're very familiar with the fast food combo.
Oh, I did, yeah.
We're talking to some
Five Guys
expertise here.
Five
Guys is your go-to, really, in fast food,
all
is
the
it?
chips are magic.
It's not even
Sorry,
fast
the
food,
fries.
is it? Does that count as fast food?
Tell you what, I'm in and out there in 5 minutes. That's fast enough for me.
You have to wait for those fries. They don't just produce them, do they? Messi Alba. Come on. If Messi's chicken, what does that make Alba?
Hold on a second. Messi Alba combo is not even the best combo.
Well, it's the
in
one
Barcelona.
we're being asked about.
Hey, what about sausage, egg and cheese from Dunkin' Donuts?
No.
Drive-through,
Don't bring those ridiculous.
coffee, sausage, egg and cheese, straight to the golf course, on the tee box, 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh!
Is that a Scottish delicacy?
What?
That rubbish you just talked about.
Sausage, egg and cheese?
Right.
No.
Where'd you get it from?
I know.
You get it from Dunkin' Donuts.
Do you really?
You live in Boston, you don't know Dunkin' Donuts?
I don't go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, you're an athlete, aren't you?
There needs to be a new show just done on fast food. I know Ali's specialty is fried chicken. That's what it is.
Oh,
Fried chicken all the way for that now.
I've had some fried chicken in my time.
Is that your southern roots?
Yes, very southern roots.
Chicken and waffles. That's Messi and Alba.
We fry stuff in
Chicken and
Scotland as well, you know.
Huh?
We fry stuff in Scotland. Mars bars.
Fry everything.
Here we go. Here we go. This guy's it's like fair food. Fair food when you talk to Stevie.
By the way,
I just know about it. I didn't say I ate
true
it.
as well.
It's carnival
They do
food.
fry Mars bars.
I didn't say I ate it myself.
But you have.
Right.
No, I haven't.
Oh, You draw the line?
A fried Mars bar. Yeah, no chance.
So you have standards.
That's a Saturday night, 10 pints at least down your neck.
You were telling us...
I'll have a fried Mars bar.
It sounds like you've had 10 pints on a Saturday night before.
I've got a great idea. I'll have a fried Mars bar.
Hey, every Saturday night.
From fried Mars bars.
Your experience on sounding like you've had 10 pints is...
I've been in chip shops late at night and seen people acting that way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
That's what it is. Yeah, I was on a
You're an observer.
an experience expedition to find out.
Is this after a game?
Oh, what?
Oh, pre-match.
From fried Mars bars to Karim Benzema. I'm not sure if that segue has ever been made before, but is Benzema one of the most overrated players of all time? The only reason he's won this many trophies is because of his far better teammates. Asked Marco. Does Marco have a point?
No, I don't think so. I think, look, when the side was flying, he was an absolute key component of that side. Playing the number 9 right through the middle. It's not easy, by the way, especially for Real Madrid.
No.
So no, I don't think he is.
This goal-scoring business, you mean? Not easy.
It's not easy.
Some of the distances he scored from, you made it look easy.
Did you see?
You made it look easy.
Did you say cream Benzema?
Cream.
This is we're on that
Fried
food.
cream,
We're on
yes.
that food thing. I thought you said cream Benzema.
Can we go home?
Apparently, Raf wants to chip in on the last question. He wants to go back to fast food.
Oh, hello.
Sorry,
Here we go.
I neglected you.
I am shocked and disgusted that the best footballer in the history of the game is being compared to fast food. Lionel Messi is the Chateaubriand of football, and Alba is the sauce béarnaise.
Is that fast food though, Rob?
I don't know. He's more of a sausage roll.
Slow food, slow wine.
Frankfurter?
Frankfurter, yeah.
What do you call the big German sausages, Rap? What are they called?
There's loads.
Bratwurst, gorgeous.
Yeah,
Yeah, Messi's the bratwurst.
Nürnberger, but you need to narrow it down a bit more.
There's regional bratwurst,
Yes.
that's what he's getting.
Oh.
Currywurst.
Don't be insulting
The
people
white
now.
ones, what are they called, Raf? The white ones.
Kalbswürste, the white ones, the one you
okay,
boil.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You have them
Yeah.
for breakfast in Munich.
We knew that.
Nice.
We're all over.
We knew that.
All over. In fact, I had some this morning.
You also have an 8-pint tub of beer in Germany for breakfast. Right?
Some
I
people
didn't know
do.
you played in Germany, Stephen.
Last one is directly to Stevie. Stevie,
hello.
do you think FIFA 19, the video game FIFA 19, should incorporate VAR somehow into its FIFA video game? Video assistant referee, the video assistant referee. Should that be?
Should have VAR on
it.
Should it have
Oh
VAR?
my
Hey,
goodness.
after Sonic the Hedgehog, I packed all that stuff away.
Hey, I'm surprised you got Sonic in your game.
I used to do a bit of Sonic,
Yeah.
but that's it.
No?
What have you moved on to?
Nothing.
Peppa Pig?
No.
That's not.
No, Words with Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Words with Friends on my phone.
That's all day, every day for you.
That's it.
Isn't it?
You've played some FIFA in your
Of
time. I know
course.
you have, Ali. So would VAR add to the realism of...
Come on.
No.
You don't want to see get the referee going like this? Or
No. Can I just say, by the way,
What's that circle?
He's drawing all sorts.
His wife's watching him. You know, hey, I'll do this today on the show.
can I just say, when it comes to FIFA, my son totally destroys me.
Yeah,
So the only way I can play is that I got to play with a top team. He's got to play with some second division team from whatever.
I'm very familiar with this feeling.
This buttons things with the video games, it's become impossible for me.
Like this? Yeah.
No, I can't do it. No.
I'm like that, hammering. like that as well.
I'll tell a lie. Mario Kart.
Mario Kart,
Yeah, I still do.
Hey, Rainbow Road, impossible.
Road, aye.
Impossible.
It's a tough one.
At 150, impossible.
Wow. They got some new ones and all. I can't do it.
All right, there you have it. Sausages and all. Water and all, sausages and all. Friday, 6 o'clock, we'll be back with you. ESPN News, ESPN FC. Lovely.
Plot twist in the Alexis Sanchez saga. Paul Mariner here with me. Maris, we love a good plot twist, and it seemed like it was all but set that Sanchez was going to go to Manchester City, but it seems that Manchester United will be ready to swoop in for your Arsenal man. So where does he go? Because, of course, he will have the pick of the crop, and who needs him more?
I think, to be honest, I think both clubs need this type of player. I mean, if you look at Manchester City, they're light up front. I mean, you know, De Bruyne has been targeted by players, so you know maybe he wants to go a little bit softer than him. Sané seems to be going fantastically well, Sterling. So, but a player of his quality, with you knowing full well what you're going to get, I think he would really enhance it, as he would with Manchester United. And if Mourinho's playing games, we're not quite sure whether he's playing games, because when we were discussing it earlier today, I'm thinking about the progress of Rashford. I'm thinking about the progress of Lingard, Martial. You know, Lukaku will be the 9 through the middle. But does he stunt the growth of those young players? You know, Juan Mata is always in the mix, seeming on the right-hand side. So the right-hand side does seem to be a little bit of an issue for Jose Mourinho. So if he's going to throw Mkhitaryan in the mix...
That's what I was going to say, is that because that's what the whole special part of this deal is, that Mkhitaryan could go in the mix for this transfer to happen, and Arsene Wenger is an admirer of Mkhitaryan. Is this somebody that you would like to see at Arsenal that you think would give Manchester United that much of the advantage?
The Mkhitaryan that I saw when he went to Manchester United, there's something not quite right with that mix. Could
Wenger bring it out in him again?
Who knows? Who knows? I really don't know. I think he's definitely a Wenger-type player. He would fit perfectly into that front three, Lacazette and Ozil, if Ozil is still there in actual fact. But you know, the plot really does thicken. When I was looking into this, and I thought to myself, there's no way he's going to go to United. It's tailor-made for him to slide straight into City and just, you know, win things, because he's a winner. But then when the Mkhitaryan thing came through into the mix with...
Like what you trying to say about Manchester United, Maris?
I'm saying that City are a little bit further ahead than United at the moment.
Fair enough.
But who wouldn't want to go to Manchester United? I mean, Alexis Sanchez...
Yeah.
I mean, Arsenal, why are they running his contract down? Absolutely ridiculous. But Sanchez is in a fantastic position. He can wait until the summer. He's on cruise control, or he can go now. I think he'd go now because he's a winner and he wants to play.
And you like the Mkhitaryan factor, so we'll see exactly how much that does play into this potential transfer and see which side of Manchester Alexis Sanchez chooses. It's transferita time with this loyal stalwart, Paul Mariner. He's ready to tell me which ones he thinks are hits and which ones are misses. Daniel Sturridge, you were just asking what's going on with this man here. So here's the scenario.
Where's he been?
Inter Milan reportedly targeting players that need more playing time ahead of the World Cup. He does.
Tick.
So this would be a loan deal, though. Hit or miss?
I'm saying 100% a hit. I mean, Sturridge needs to get himself fit. Talking as an English guy, we need strikers for the World Cup. Get yourself fit, Daniel. Play some football. Get yourself to Inter Milan. This is a hit for him. It's going to be fantastic.
Javier Mascherano now to the Chinese Super League. Hits all around?
Look, absolutely. Hits all. Look, he's got so much to offer, this guy. We all know why he's going to go.
So does the CSL in terms of your bank account.
Exactly. So, to me, I think he's got loads to offer. Massive hit. If he goes.
Donnarumma, we've been tracking this one for some time now. He's still a youngster. You made the comment. Isn't he like 12? So he's still got a long career ahead of him. Well, but to leave AC Milan.
Well, we heard he'd signed a new contract, and then there was something not quite right with it. There's something not quite right with the fit of Donnarumma and AC Milan. So for him, I think he's just got to get out of town and get another club. I mean, one of the top prospects in world football as far as a goalkeeper is concerned. So everybody will be on alert for this kid.
Chicharito only just arrived to West Ham, and now there are rumours linking him away from West Ham.
You know what I think this is about, Lex? I think it's about the way that West Ham are playing now under Moyes. Because you looked at him the other day in the Cup. I know the Cup's a little bit different, but still the service going into him, he's not getting the service that Chicharito requires. So for himself, and I think if Andy Carroll could stay fit, I think that's the type of centre forward that Moyes wants to build around. For Chicharito, I think it's a hit. He's got to get out of there.
Dele Alli, quite the talent. Of course, it was only
Yeah.
a matter of time before people would start linking him away
Yeah.
from Spurs.
Yeah.
So would a nice new contract at Spurs be a hit for him, though?
I think it would. I think for some reason, I don't know whether it's his advisors or he's just had a little drop in form. He's still a threat, don't get me wrong. And I still think he's a fantastic young player. I think if he was to get a new contract at Tottenham, I think that's the best place for him to be for his career. So I'm going to say stay with Spurs, son. You do all right there.
And finally, Naby Keita, I know a lot of Liverpool fans who are just itching to finally get him at Anfield. It seems like they could now in January. Would that be, or would this be a good time for him to?
I love this guy. I think he's absolutely fantastic. He's a little bit like Kante at Chelsea. He covers a lot of ground, but he's a better finisher. He gets in the box. When balls are in wide areas, he can get in the box and he can finish. So I think Klopp, if he's trying to get him, I say get him in now. So I see this as a hit also. I think he's a fabulous player, and Liverpool players and Liverpool fans will love this guy.
All right, hits all around. Any dangers of a miss? Not on Paul Mariner's watch today.
Why should there be?
Feeling positive about everything.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll see if they indeed happen and things go your way here on ESPNFC.com.